Okay, take two. Mr. P just learned something. You can't hit that button. So apparently there's no way for me to pause. So I couldn't edit this if I wanted to. I just kind of need to be the same sort of silly, weird principle that you've come to know and love when I make mistakes. And that's okay. I made a mistake. I still want to know how to turn this around. So I probably should have tried to figure that out in practice while I paused in the middle. But anyway, that's okay. I still want to know what this button is for. So if I shut it off again, you'll know that Mr. P is just like, Mr. P, stop doing that. Okay, well, I'm just here at school talking to myself. So here's what I'll try to do. Can I do it like this instead? I guess I'll just have to do it like this. That's backwards for me. Hey, so anyway, we got some expectations. Mainly, we got some great school-wide expectations. We call that the Wolfpack Way, okay? This big poster that we got in the NPR, it's really big compared to some of the other posters you see around because we have expectations for everywhere. Things that we just expect to be done that way. But this great big one is our school-wide expectations. And even though you're not in school this year, you're in school. You just are doing school at home. So I gotta stop moving, huh? I'll stop moving. You're doing school at home, so we still have an expectation of how school will get done. And frankly, you know our daily program here is not all about school. It's about helping create you into a person that knows when to calm, a person that uses their strengths and abilities to inspire others, to help others, a person that when you get frustrated, you know what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it. So here at Daly, yeah, we're about school. We're about you learning and academics, but don't forget, we're also about just helping everybody that comes in our doors become a better person. So these expectations here, these are really what we expect out of everybody. So don't forget, if your teachers aren't abiding by your expectations, these expectations, I mean, if Mr. P isn't abiding by these expectations, these are school-wide expectations. These are not, hey, all the kids have to follow these rules and the adults have to do whatever they want because they're adults. These are the things that we expect everyone to do. This is the way we expect people to operate when they are a part of our wolf pack. So I'm going to go through them really quick, maybe give you a couple examples. We want everybody to stay as positive as possible. Part of being a person and being positive is, that doesn't make any sense, whatever. That's why I'm doing this live, who cares? We want you to try to stay as positive as possible. Okay, people like to be around positive people, not people that are moaning and groaning and whining all the time. So we're going to try to be positive. Alertness. Alertness is super important, especially today, especially in today's day. There's all kinds of messages going around. There's all kinds of things happening. There's all kinds of stuff that pulls for our attention. You know, we need to stay alert. We need to stay alert. We need to be creative, okay? We expect everybody to be creative when they're part of the wolf pack. That could be creative in the mind. That could be creative with your hands. That could be creative with your voice. That could be all kinds of different ways where you could be creative. And we expect you to be kind. You know, the world needs kindness, everybody. The world needs people to just be kind. So when you are at home, when you are on our videos, when you are in your class meetings, when you're in your small groups with your teachers and your classmates, we expect you to be positive, alert, creative, and kind. Okay? Positive. We want you to choose positive, expected thoughts and behaviors as much as possible. Set reachable goals. Okay? That's setting first, putting first things first. Okay, what's important? So we're going to sit down, maybe work with your teachers one-on-one, work with your parents at home, set a goal for yourself. Hey, I want to work on my math at least 10 more minutes every day then it's expected because I want to be better in math. I want to work hard on my reading, so I'm going to read an extra 10 minutes a day. Do you know if you read an extra 10 minutes a day, even 5 days a week, that's 50 minutes more per week times 4 weeks. I gotta do math on the fly. I'm really gonna be crazy if I mess this up. 50 minutes in a week times 4, 200 extra minutes of reading just doing 10 minutes a day. So that's what we're talking about. Set reachable goals. Imagine what you can read in 200 minutes in a month. Okay, that's an extraordinary amount of practice in reading. Understand your actions have consequences. Accept that things happen you can't control. Y'all, we're here on a video. We're here watching me on a video in your house because there are things that we just can't control. And staying positive about those things is super important. Hey, I wish I was back at school. I wish you were back at school. I wish my parents could bring me to school. I wish I could see my teachers. Trust me, all your teachers here miss you. All your teachers want to see you, hang out with you, play football with you, push you on the swing. We miss you terribly. But this is something we can't control. And you know what? We're going to be positive about it. We're going to stay alert. We're going to work to identify our feelings and our zones, even when we're at home. If we're getting frustrated, we're going to communicate it. We're going to take breaks, ask for help, use tools to reset ourselves. Be accountable for our mistakes. How many mistakes have I already made in this video? Like 60? You know what? It's not a big deal. You say the wrong thing and then you say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. What I was trying to explain is everybody thinks you got to be perfect or in school there's no room for mistakes. Y'all, I'm your principal. I make mistakes all the time. You know, as soon as we're done with this video, and you go into your individual classrooms with Mr. G or Miss Annie or Mr. Rich, just ask them, hey, does Mr. P really ever make mistakes? And they're going to be like, yeah, all the time. But you know, it's taking accountability, saying, you know what, it's no big deal. I made a mistake. I'm alert to my mistake. And now I know what to do to fix it. Or I'm alert. I know I made a mistake. I'm going to ask somebody how I can understand that better. That's what we're asking you to do. Be flexible when things change. You know what? We want you to be creative. We're all going to need creativity this school year. We're all going to need to be more creative. Okay? Your teachers are going to have to find creative ways to help you learn. Your parents need to find creative ways to balance everything you're doing at home. Your aunts, your grandmas, or whoever it is you live with, they are going to have to find more creative ways to balance who gets the internet, who gets computers, who gets the book this time. We're all got to be creative. We have to use our minds to learn things creatively, solving problems, developing your strengths, solution focus. That's think win-win. How can everybody win in this situation? That's one of the things we want to do. Be creative in this time. Explore new things so that when we do come back to school, you just have that much more skills. When you do come back into our makerspace, I mean, raise your hand. How many of you missed the lab? Dude, I missed the lab. As a matter of fact, I got a nice, super awesome, amazing built computer for the lab. My brother-in-law is a computer engineer, and he hand-built a very good, fast, nice computer for the lab. And right now, nobody's here to see it or use it. But how can you be creative at home to learn things so that when you get back in the lab, you can use that creativity? And you know what? Frankly, we all just need to be more kind. Be compassionate to yourself and others. Really, that's what we're talking about. Our expectation is everybody at Daly Academy is kind. Be nice to each other. Show some grace to each other in those rooms when people make mistakes. We don't laugh. We don't tease. We encourage others. That's the expectation. Being positive, being alert, being creative, and kind. Your teachers are going to review these with you all the time this year. Okay, you're going to need to be able to say, I'm going to pop on your meeting one day in a week or so and be like, hey, who can name our Wolfpack way? Who can name our expectations? And you need to be saying, I'm going to be positive, alert, creative, and kind. Okay, we're going to work on this stuff all school year. The last thing I want to make sure you understand this year is we are still going to do class dojo. Your parents need to know how well you're doing. You need to know how well you're doing. Class dojo is not good. It's not bad. It's not right. It's not wrong. Class dojo is what we call feedback. Everybody needs feedback. I need to know how I'm doing at any given time. So we don't get more upset if you have a lower score. We're not necessarily more happy if you get a higher score. It's just feedback for you. Dojo's for you. Dojo's for your parents. Hey, I expect you to have a 70% or higher every day. I expect you to have this or that. I don't expect you to have any of these marks. It makes it easy so that you know how well you're doing in any particular moment. And then it goes back to our alertness. Hey, I got to be alert to what I'm doing. They're marking dojo. So we are going to be using many of our same exact dojo marks, like on task, being kind, being respectful. Those kind of dojo marks are still going to be there. But we're also going to have some very specific school-wide online behaviors. For example, attempting a task. So when your teacher says, hey, Joe, you need to sign out now and go complete those 6 math problems on your iReady program. And then Miss Carla's going to call you back to your meeting. And you sign out. And then you decide, you know what? I'd really rather have a peanut butter sandwich than do my math. And you go and eat a peanut butter sandwich. And then Miss Carla calls you back and you're like, oh, I didn't do it. Or she looks on the computer report and says, hey, how come you didn't do it? Oh, getting a peanut butter sandwich. Okay, well then you don't get a mark for attempting your work. So there is going to be feedback all the time. There'll be positive feedback. Hey, good job. You did attempt your work. Maybe you went and tried to do those 6 problems and you got 3 of them done and you tried a 4th one and then you didn't really understand the 5th and the 6th one. Well, you know what? You're going to get positive dojo points because you're working, you're trying, you're doing your best. And again, that's part of the Wolfpack way. We want you to be alert and positive. Stay positive, try your best, be creative, use counting beans, do whatever you got to do to help you at home. It all feeds back into that expectation. So, you know, I've been on now for 12 minutes, and that's the second part of the video, so it's probably closer to 15, 16. That's a long video. I didn't expect it to be that long. Probably would have been a lot shorter if I wrote it down and then edited it and then fixed it, so on and so forth. So anyways, that's it. This is me, kind of raw, kind of making it up as I go, hoping I don't make any big mistakes or look too silly. But I want to leave you this. I'm expecting greatness this year. I truly am expecting a great year. I love you all. And I know you hear principals say it. I know you hear teachers say it. I really honestly can't wait to see you all again. And frankly, it'll be good enough to be able to see you on the computer really, really soon. I guess, frankly, when you're watching this video, I will have already seen you to say hi and to say watch this video, but whatever. You know what I'm saying. Hey, we're expecting a great year. Your teachers are expecting a great year, and we'll be seeing you soon.